Hello, my Nintendo freaks. That's what you are, freaks. I'm a freak too. That we just gotta face that's the fact, okay? We are royally sucking off a company, a multi-million worth company, and that's just what we do, and we should embrace that. Let's just keep doing it. Let's just keep going. And welcome back. Today we're gonna look at the top 10 most sold Switch games of all time. I just thought that it would be interesting to look at this with the Switch 2 being released this year, to find out maybe if we can get any clues as to what will release for the Switch 2, and just a general look back on what sold the most for one of the most greatest consoles of all time, really. At number 1, we have, for the most sold Switch game, a Wii U game. Yes, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe may as well just be called Mario Kart 8. The Deluxe just means the DLC is included, but there's also new DLC to buy, but it's essentially the same game, Mario Kart 8, which is insane. This game is over 11 years old now. What the hell? Mario Kart 8 Deluxe itself is around 7 years old. Even that on its own is ridiculous, and it's the biggest gap we've had in between two Mario Kart games, the next one presumably being called Mario Kart 9 for the Switch 2 that we've seen. And it's about time, although I always don't understand why people can't fathom the fact that of course they were going to wait for the Switch 2 to release Mario Kart 9. Why would they abandon the most sold Switch game for so long? This game has held the number 1 spot for so long now. Why would they make another and distract from that? If it's going to keep selling, let it keep selling. Just focus on Mario Kart Tour and then finally give us a sequel to this game when the Switch 2 comes out. It makes perfect sense. This game is great. I mean, they've managed to even make it last as long, with the 48 DLC tracks. People are still playing this game. It's undeniably a lot of fun. But I think it's about time we get that new Mario Kart game. And I want a new gimmick in this next one, definitely. Number 2 is Animal Crossing New Horizons, and I just feel sorry for this game. Even though it's number 2 and it's also the most sold game ever in Japan, I just feel sorry for it. It stopped getting updates after 2 years of release, and sadly I just think, I don't think it's the entire reason why it's number 2 on this list, but I think one of the biggest benefits the game received is just because it launched during the start of COVID, and therefore the height of COVID, and therefore the height of people playing games and being stuck indoors. And I feel sorry for the franchise because I just really can't see a successor to this game. In terms of sales, at least, I'm sure the next game's going to be a lot better and Nintendo are going to innovate the franchise even more, but I can't imagine it gets much better for Animal Crossing than it did for New Horizons. And I just feel bad for the fans because, with that being said, they just stopped receiving updates after just 2 years, so sorry fans of Animal Crossing. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. If you took this game on its own at face value, this might just be the greatest game ever made, just in terms of feet and not human feet. A feat, the feat of Sakurai. We love Sakurai's feet so much. Now, what I'm saying is, this is a moment in gaming history. It's probably the biggest gaming collab we will ever have. I think Sakurai himself has confirmed that the whole, gimmick of Smash Ultimate is to have every fighter in this game, and I don't think another Smash Bros is going to do that for a long time, especially not the next one. So I'm so glad we got this thing. This game is everything to me. And in a number 4 slot, we have another Wii U game. Technically, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, which has sold more than Tears of the Kingdom. Will it always sell more than Tears of the Kingdom? Well, I believe so, just because Breath of the Wild have the privilege of being the launch game for the Switch, and I believe it's around 10 million copies ahead of Tears of the Kingdom, which is kind of sad because I feel like Tears of the Kingdom just made this game even better. Personally, I don't think there's much reason to go back to the original Breath of the Wild. Tears of the Kingdom, just once you play it, you're just like, oh yeah, I wish Breath of the Wild did this and that and this. And yeah, it's what we should have got, but it's just so much more love has been brought into that game. That's just essentially a better version, in my opinion at least, of Breath of the Wild. But Breath of the Wild itself is still an amazing game, standalone. So very happy to see it in this position. Super Mario Odyssey, I would say apart from the Pokemon games in this list, is quite controversial. I feel like a lot of people love Odyssey, a lot of people don't really care for it. A lot of people are more big fans of the 2D Mario games, or they just thought Odyssey was a bit too big, or I don't know, they didn't really have an incentive to keep going. That's what I've heard, at least. I really like Odyssey, but I do honestly just like the basic 2D Mario, especially Mario Wonder with that amazing art style. I just prefer the classic games personally, but who can blame Mario Odyssey for being this high? And hopefully the next 3D Mario game is one that I will like a lot more, which is Mario Galaxy 3. And controversy, here we go. For the number 6 and 7 place is Pokemon Sword and Shield at number 6 and Scarlet and Violet at number 7. Yes, the most controversial, crap running, horrible looking game ever to be created, but technically still a good game if you ignore how it looks and close your eyes, but don't really close your eyes, just squint them just a bit so you pretend for a bit that you're not playing a GameCube game, or at least that's what it looks like. It's number 7 of the most sold games of all time on the Switch, and to be honest, this is just sad. It, if anything, just says to the Pokemon Company and Game Freak, hey, keep making games like this. Don't make them look amazing, because there's no point. In fact, the less good you make these games, Sword and Shield included, although it's not nearly as bad as Scarlet and Violet, the more they will sell. It's not just a fact of, oh, you know, the games with, you know, games that look good and don't look good sell the same. No, it's Pokemon games. Maybe it's because it's the main series and, you know, these are the games that introduce people into new generations. But still, the games with the worst graphics are the best-selling Pokemon games on the Switch. It's just sad. Like, it makes sense, kind of, but I really don't want Game Freak to take away that, oh, okay, we'll just keep getting away with that for years. And hopefully they won't, because Legends EA isn't actually coming out this year. In fact, this has been the longest gap, I believe, in Pokemon history if Legends EA doesn't release soon in 2025 or something like that. So hopefully they're taking the time with that game and it looks a little better. But with that all being said, I'm guilty as charged. I like Sword and Shield and I like Scarlet and Violet. I think they're great games. Again, you just need to squint your eyes a little bit here and there. Number 8 is Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. This game will probably be one of the most memorable games of my life. I think it took me almost a year to beat it just because of sidetracking, taking breaks from the game. But it is so good. It is the standard of Switch games, especially we're talking about graphics now. Graphics wise, it just stands up so well, and it proves to people and developers that the Switch hardware may not be the top of its gen, but there is no excuse. You can make an amazing and a huge game with the Switch hardware. So I can't wait to see what, you know, they go further with in terms of the main series Legends of Zelda games. Obviously we just had Echoes of Wisdom, but I'm really looking forward to another open world Legends of Zelda game on the Switch too, and I think that's going to push so many boundaries, and I just can't wait for that. Number 9, Super Mario Party. There are so many Super Mario Party games, or Mario Party games on the Switch. I didn't really expect this one, or any really, to break the top 10, but Super Mario Party has, and I just like Jamboree better. That's all I have to say about this one. And finally, the third. I can't believe 3 of these games are Wii U games. I promise the Switch has a good library of games. But yeah, number 10 is another Wii U game. It is Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. Oh, sorry, New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. But I guess new Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe because it's a new version of the game that's just a port. I'm not even sure if this one has the Luigi sort of mode in it, which would make it worse than the original. And this is when Nintendo started to get a lot of flack with just re-releasing old games for a previous console at a more expensive price, or at least the same. And at the start, I feel like a lot of people just hated that and were dunking on Nintendo for making that decision. But money talks, it's number 10 on this list, and what do you know, they are still doing it to this day with Donkey Kong Returns HD, which is even less of an improvement this time. They just continue to get away with it. So again, like with the graphic situation in Pokemon, why would they not just carry on if it works? People can complain all they like, but the numbers don't lie. It's number 10. And to be fair, I guess before Mario Wonder, this was the only, not the only, but the biggest 2D Mario game we had. So I can't really blame it. I really can't. Out of all of these games though, I am just kind of obsessed with Mario Kart right now, with Mario Kart 9 being teased on the Switch 2 trailer. I really just want a new Mario Kart game. I will buy a console just for that game, and so will you, because you're just like me. Don't pretend you're higher than me, or you've got a higher standard. We will buy that console for Mario Kart 9 and probably some old Switch games as well. Actually, no, because the Switch 2 is backwards compatible, but there'll probably be some Wii U ports in there as well that we'll buy and fork over our money for.